Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up Missoula. My name is Noelle McFoy.
And I'm Scott Ramp.
That was Asaph Adonai on piano. Asaph, what song was that?
That's the girl from Ipanema.
Nice. I love that song. It's such a fun little playful tune in the morning.
Yep.
But
well, it is Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the week, and I just got a few MCAT announcements.
Oh, good. Okay.
So this week is actually next week is our first week of our very first summer camp, and it's the Wildlife Film Camp, and there's still spots available for people who want to sign up their kids aged 9 to 13 to come join us, learn a little bit about film, but most of all, learn a little bit more about the wilderness here and around Missoula.
Through film.
Through film.
And about yourself through film. It's going to be
We all
really
learn
good
about
time.
a little bit about ourselves as the day goes on and as the years pass.
As we get older.
You know.
But we've got a couple guests for you guys today. We've got Marc Moss here. He's going to be telling us all about Tell Us Something.
Cool.
And then Matt Loerke is here from MCT, and they're going to be talking about their day camps. Yep. So we will hear from them in a few moments. But we've got some city council announcements.
Yes, we do. Oh, not really a city council announcement, but I have a nice little clip which basically kind of encompasses what's been going on at the city council meetings. And most of these meetings have been really short, but this is public comment, and just a warning that sometimes public comment can get a little intense.
Yes.
So this is Stephen Ludwig. Yeah, and he is saying that the city of Missoula is city of Missoula, blah, it's terrible, it's awful, and he's asking for the resignation of the mayor.
Oh, let's hear that.
So this is the tail end of his 6-7 minute public comment, which usually is supposed to be 3 minutes for common courtesy for everyone else in attendance. But anyways, this is kind of like what's been going on at city council, and because there hasn't been much going on.
It's mostly been construction.
I call on you councilors to take the necessary actions to bring both state and federal prosecutors into an investigation by grand jury of the abuse of power and the obstruction of justice that currently remain hidden. Further, I call upon you councilors to separate your legally constituted deliberations from Mayor Engen. I call upon you to demand his resignation. I call upon you to fire the mayor's appointees, Jim Nugent, the director of the city attorney, the director of development, Mike Haynes, and preservation officer Leslie Schwab. Missoula needs wise, fair, transparent government, and I call upon you to make accountable to the people the legitimate governance we deserve.
Thank you, Mr. Ludwig. So in future, I'd ask that you try to trim your remarks so that other folks can play by the rules.
I try.
Yeah, thank you.
I think everybody needs to be called account to play by the rules.
You're done, sir. Further public comment this evening?
All right, so that kind of encompasses what's been going on with city council. I think it's definitely the perfect clip that kind of encompasses everything that's been going on. There's a lot of heated issue between what's going on with the Mercantile. I don't really want to get into it. I just wanted to kind of give you a little taste of what's going on with the government. And I have not been doing a city council report for the last couple weeks because this is the same thing. It's a lot of the same thing, and most of it's just we're gonna rezone, do some zonings. As much as I love telling you people about rezoning structures in the north side of Missoula with the repurposing and re-infrastructure of that, I'll pass on that.
I agree.
I think I'm going to save that all for the summer camp. So one of my things of how I'm going to punish the kids is when the kids are being bad, I'm just going to we'll take them aside, and then I'm going to talk to them about 501(c). Or if I can't think of that, I'll talk about city government. And
just sit them down. If they want to watch YouTube or want to watch things rather than do stop motion or do what we're doing, we'll just sit them down, make them watch city council.
Yeah.
I think that sounds great. That's good punishment.
Yeah. And I guess one of the kids said this to me, and I really there's a quote from one of my kids in my flagship program. He said, "A bored kid is a kid without imagination."
It's so true. That's what I always like to say. I always think that only boring people get bored, and so I never get bored.
I'm extremely boring.
I'm sorry, Scott.
But of course, I'm going to talk about what is new on MCAT tonight. We have the presidential lecture series continuation. We have Libertarians Not Live.
Oh, not live. Yep. Libertarians pre-taped.
And we have Emmett, the elderly punk rocker, off with Youth About Society tonight.
That's at 10:30.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, tomorrow night we have Asaph Cafe at 5.
Yeah, Asaph, can you give us a plug about what your show's about?
Oh, let's see. I think it's the one with the lady with the blue hair.
Cool.
Nice.
Teresa Toigo. She dyed her hair blue. She's 59. She's talking about what it's like to be a woman with blue hair.
Cool. That sounds fun. Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you guys can look forward to that. And that's tomorrow at 5:30?
Yep.
Cool. Nice.
And you can find any of this on our website at mcat.org. You can watch all these videos before they air on our channel 189 or 190 by logging on to mcat.org. Here, let's do some social networking plugging real quick. So mcat.org is where you can find some more information about all of us. And also you can be a part of MCAT. Tonight is our orientation.
Oh, great.
Yes, so tonight at 5:30, if anybody is interested in making their own program, being a part of MCAT, helping us with some of our programming here on MCAT, you can. It's starting at 5:30, and some of the nice perks about signing up with MCAT is you get to check out equipment, get to rent the studio, get to use our editing equipment,
we have
lights. We have light kits.
We've got light kits. We'll also help you guys produce and edit any shows that you want to. And you can use our awesome studio that we have. And we have a great meadow on that wall and an awesome green screen on that wall.
Yeah, it's very it's a very meta meadow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a Facebook page. Totally like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at MCAT Missoula.
Wake Up Missoula also has a Twitter page. You can follow us at Wake Up Missoula. Wake Up Missoula also has a Facebook page. Like us at Wake Up Missoula. And to find out more information, go to wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula.
I just love my picture right there. I'm scratching my head.
You're like, what's going on? And I'm just chilling.
But I don't want to keep our guests waiting.
Yes.
So we'll be right back after this nice little PSA.
No matter what you're planning, if you plan to drink, plan to have a friend get you home, get ride home ideas and tools at plantolive.mt.gov.
Birthdays come and go, each year adding up to a lifetime full of extraordinary moments. At Missoula Aging Services, we promote the independence, dignity, and health of older adults. We are ready to help connect seniors to the help they need. Knowing you've got friends to support you, each birthday can be special. See how we can help. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.org.
Hey guys, we're back here with Marc Moss, and he's here to tell us something.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Mark?
We've got a new event coming up on Wednesday next week, a week from today.
Perfect. And so what is the theme?
The theme is bad advice.
Ooh. And so how many storytellers do you guys have?
We had 20 storytellers signed up, and 2 days before the workshop, we had 10 signed up. And then the day of the workshop, 5 dropped out. So.
Oh, you have 5.
But we're back. No, actually, we're back up to 9.
Oh, good.
So yeah,
you gotta weed out the weak storytellers for the strong ones.
Yeah.
And what's the theme?
The theme is bad advice.
Bad advice.
Yes.
Bad advice.
So we've all got a bad advice story. So
Definitely.
we have 9 storytellers. They've got 10 minutes to tell a true personal story on that theme. We did our first event outside of Missoula recently.
Oh, where
we
was
did
that?
an event in Helena last month on the 26th. And I remember the very first Missoula event. We had about 75 people show up, and that's how many we had at Helena. We did it at a little arts space called Free Ceramics.
Cool.
And we had great storytellers where the theme was busted.
Nice.
So it was pretty fun.
And so were they Helena storytellers?
All people from Helena.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so how many storytellers did you have from that one?
8. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's nice to get a nice representation from our city capital.
Yeah, for
state
sure.
capital.
Yeah.
City capital.
It
Yeah.
really is. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was fun. I hope to do another Helena show next year. I'm working with an organization to try to do a Bozeman show next year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're branching out.
You should totally check out one of our cameras and just kind of just put it on a tripod and just film it there.
Oh, in Helena? Yeah.
Just give it a little taste.
Next time. I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, just come by and check out equipment.
Excellent.
And so tell us, you just got some new sponsors. So tell us about
that. We got the Trail, 103.3, the radio station, so definitely give them a listen. I think today is Win It Wednesday, and I believe that they're giving away some tickets to Tell Us Something today. So give them a listen and call in when the time is right.
And so what time and where is Tell Us Something?
Tell Us Something is going to be Wednesday, June 22nd at the Wilma. You can buy tickets ahead of time now. That's the first time we've ever done that. Oh. So you can buy tickets at the Top Hat, or you can buy tickets at thewilma.com. The doors open at 6 on June 22nd, and the show starts at 7.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There will be an audience participation section too.
Oh, really fun.
I talked to Ron, and he's usually just a guy who goes out and films Tell Us Something here in Missoula, and he's always, he loves it. He loves going out and doing that. It's definitely a pleasure for him to like hear all these great stories, and he always tells me these funny things that go on. It's like, well, there's this one person. But yeah, Tell Us Something's great. If you like all the videos, you can watch any of the Tell Us Somethings online as well.
Yeah, you can watch them on MCAT, right? And I'm building a YouTube channel, so right now it's youtube.com/a bunch of numbers and letters. So if you want me to have youtube.com/tell us something, subscribe to the channel. You can do that by going to tellussomething.org and click on the subscribe to YouTube link. Once I have 100 subscribers, then I'll start pushing out more content. I've got 200 stories from the last 5 years, and we're starting to get those edited and get them ready for publication. So.
Nice.
And so what advice would you give someone that wants to participate and Tell Us Something, but is too scared?
If you're too scared, we have a workshop, and that is my job, is to help you hone your story and tell it in a compelling way and get you relaxed enough to get up in front of people to do that. Everyone has a story. Everyone's story is valuable. Everyone's story is worth hearing. And that is why I do Tell Us Something, to try to get people's stories heard. And it's not as scary as you think. Once you get up there and just being your authentic self in front of your neighbors and friends who really want you to succeed. I mean, everyone there, we've never had a heckler. We had one heckler, I guess. But that was a personal thing between the heckler and the storyteller. And so I found out who that person was, and I had a conversation with that individual after the fact. And
Yeah, Missoula's not usually littered with a lot of hecklers.
Not really.
Yeah, Missoula's pretty chill. Everyone has their right to shine here in Missoula, which is great.
Yeah, and that's what happens. And the storytellers, when they get up there, they feel confident and empowered. And one person, I was at Clyde Coffee recently, and somebody asked that very question, like, I'm too scared to do it. And I happened to be talking to a storyteller alumni at the time, and he said, well, I've done it. And she said, what was that like? And he said, terrifying and transformative. Yeah, so
I bet it would
very
be.
empowering experience for folks.
Nice. And so can you give us a little tale of some bad advice you've received?
Well, when we had all those storytellers drop out, I was going to tell a story that involved taking the advice of my brother to open that lock with a hammer. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket just in case.
Well, thank you very much. Just tell us when and where people can find more information about Tell Us Something.
You can find more information at tellussomething.org. The event, Bad Advice, is the theme. June 22nd at the Wilma. You can get tickets online at thewilma.com or at the Top Hat Lounge. You can also get tickets at Rockin' Rudy's.
Awesome.
Well, thanks, Mark.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back with Matt Loerke right after this.
Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
For the last 30 years, the Montana Hope Project has been granting wishes to Montana children who face life-threatening illnesses.
I'm Montana Hope.
To make a donation and help their wishes come true, please visit montanahope.org.
We are Montana Hope.
Your smartphone can help you find a bar, alert your friends that you're in the bar, update you on your team while you're at the bar, and now, let you know you need a ride home from the bar. That is smart. Download blood alcohol calculators for your phone at plantolive.mt.gov.
Hey, we're here with Matt Loerke from Missoula Children's or Missoula Community Theater.
Correct.
Here in Missoula. And you're here to talk about some of your summer programs.
Absolutely, yeah. We got our day camp program coming up. We got 3 day camps coming up. The first is next week with Blackbeard the Pirate. Ooh. After that, the week of 4th of July, starting on Tuesday, July 5th, will be the Pied Piper. And then the week of July 18th is the production of The Wiz of the West, which is our original adaptation of The Wizard of Oz, but with a Western spin on it. So Dorothy's Dot, Toto's Mooch the Pooch, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And so kids come and they're with us from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. We have 2 casts rehearsing at the same time, a Saturday cast and a Sunday cast. And so they learn the entire show, and then one performs on Saturday at 3 and 5 and then Sunday at 3 and 5. And those performances are open to the public, so even if you don't have a kid in the camp, we encourage you to bring your own children to come see what those shows are like, and then hopefully they'll want to join us in the future for more productions.
Cool.
What's the age range?
Age is entering 1st grade through 12th grade. Very good question. So you have to have completed kindergarten for the summer, but during the school year, our programs are open up for kindergartners.
So going back to, you split the groups in half, like one group performs and the other, yeah. So my question for you is, like, does the cast get to watch the other group perform?
One time on Friday, they are, since both casts are not there on Saturday and Sunday, just one on Saturday, one on Sunday, they do both get to perform for each other on that Friday, so they can kind of see what each other person's doing up there, and they can see what the, for example, in Wiz of the West, one person plays the Scared Crow, not the Scarecrow, but the Scared Crow. So the person for the Saturday cast can watch the Scarecrow, what they're doing on Sunday, and vice versa for the Sunday cast.
Kind of like some inspiration.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's definitely great. It gives kids to be like, I'm going to do way better than that guy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's great. And also, if they're a little bit different, that's fine, because everyone brings their own interpretation to a role.
Yeah, nice. It's so true. That's awesome. And so, let's see, I just forgot my question.
That's okay.
Well, I really like your guys' original spin on all these classic tales of Blackbeard and all that stuff. And you guys do your original music, a lot of just all original stuff, and you guys take it across the internationally.
That's right. We just finished our summer training. We have 44 tour teams out on the road presenting shows all across America in about 17 countries, which is wonderful. And our newest show that just went out was Gulliver's Travels, but instead of it being kind of 1800s English spin, it's actually an outer space. And so all of his travels, he meets aliens, he meets robots, all those things. So the kids auditioning for our shows understand the source material, but then there's a spin on it, which is always our unique approach.
Nice. I like that. You guys just had a full year of a bunch of new community theater stuff. You just did Mary Poppins.
Yes.
And how well received was
the last Mary Poppins was wonderful. Sold out houses, great community responses. We had children and adults dressed up like Mary Poppins in medicine go down. Great, I love that. And just seeing the wonder of the kids when Bert and Mary flew across the stage. It was wonderful. I had the opportunity to be on stage and to see those kids see the magic, and adults too. It was wonderful.
Yeah, and Mary Poppins, I had the pleasure of seeing her in Shrek. She was Fiona.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's really good.
All of our community actors to be able to do those roles. It's it says community theater, but it's pretty professional in that sense.
We have great talent in Missoula and a lot of really talented actors. And so, what are some of the next plays that are coming up?
Yes, for the community season, the other half of MCT there, we're opening with Tarzan in October.
Okay.
So based on the Disney music with all the Phil Collins music and such. In the winter, around Christmas time, we're doing The Christmas Story, the musical. So with the leg lamp and everything, they've made it into a musical. So there's going to be some singing leg lamps on stage. In January is kind of our PG-13 show called Urinetown, and it's a very satire about a town where you have to pay to use the restroom. In April, we're doing a straight play, which means not a musical, and it's called Over the River and Through the Woods. And it's a unique play in the sense that it's two sets of grandparents who have the same grandchild, and it's about their story of how their grandchild is growing up and how they interact with each other. And then our last big show that's in May is The Wizard of Oz, which is our really big show, and it is based on the MGM musical with all of the same music in that sense.
Wow,
So, yeah.
that would be awesome.
I like MCT because they always have their last play is always like the big kickoff, and it's always like it all leads up until the end of the season. But all the plays are just wonderful and great.
Oh,
I
thank
saw The Drowsy Chaperone, and it's one of my favorite ones. It was very tongue in cheek.
Oh yes.
There's a lot of like nuances. Like I was watching it because I had no predisposition on or prejudgment on what it was about. I was like, a Drowsy Chaperone, because I just randomly looked it up. I was like, I'm gonna just go. It's just a nice thing, just to go and just check it out, and you're pleasantly surprised.
Oh, well, thank you.
How wonderful.
And the Urinetown's going to be a lot like that. It's kind of that sleeper hit that Drowsy Chaperone was, and so we're excited to bring something new to Missoula audiences. Though the university did it many years ago, it's nice to bring it back again.
It's different
Yes.
with you guys. It really is. So where can people find more information about you guys?
All
and how
on
can
our
they sign
website. Yep, everything to buy tickets for community season, register for our classes, all on our website, mctinc.org, mctincorporated.org, mctinc there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so your next camp starts on Monday?
Starts Monday, and right now we have room in our Sunday cast. Our Saturday cast is full for Blackbeard the Pirate, but we still have slots available in all of our other camps as well.
And you can sign up at MCT, go online.
Yep.
And what's the latest? What's the deadline for signing up?
You can sign up if you show up on Monday and we have spots available. We can sign you up, but we can't guarantee that spots are available the day of camp that starts. So we do recommend you register early online, or you can call our box office at Well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Matt.
my pleasure. Thank you guys.
Yeah. We'll be right back after this, everyone. Hello everyone, and we are back with events. Okay, so starting at 10 a.m. over at La Stella Blue, they're going to be making Father's Day cards, so you can stop by there and decorate and color a card for your father. Father's Day is this Sunday. Over at Missoula Public Library, not at the Missoula Public Library, in Frenchtown, which is a branch of the public library, they have a storytime and craft starting at 10:30 and going all the way through 1:30, so all day long, storytime and crafts. Over at the Children's Museum of Missoula at 11, they've got Taekwondo. And then over at Spectrum Discovery area, their Discovery Bench is Nano, and their Brain Lab are Brain Games. Over at Spectrum Discovery area, they also have a Science Sprouts, which is an early education program for ages 2 to 5. And so their theme for today is germs. At Out to Lunch, the band is going to be the Salamanders and the Retro Tones. They also have free children's activities, lots of food vendors, and it is sponsored by the Public Services of Montana and the Red Lion Inn. Over at the public library at 11:30 is Kids Table at the library. This is for ages 18 and under to go in there and get a free lunch for the afternoon. Also at the public library, they've got a Let's Paint acrylics for a beginners class. It starts at noon. That is going to be in their makerspace. So you can register by calling 721-2665. At Big Sky High School, which is a branch of the Missoula Public Library, they've got movies in making. So what it is screenings of family-friendly films, and it's followed by a craft activity. Pretty cool. And then we jump up to 5 o'clock. You know, you get some nap time between 1 and 5. So over at the Kettle House, they've got their Community Unite, more for kids, starting at 5, 50 cents from each beer sold goes to the nonprofit of the night.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start making events between 1 and 5. There's literally nothing happens between 1 and 5. And I'm going to call it something in between.
Something in between. It could be like a movie.
It could be anything.
Yeah, anything at all.
Something in between at MCAN.
That's a good idea. I think that's a great idea.
Yep.
Maybe later on, after our camps, during the school year.
I have a lot that's coming up right after the summer camps end and Boys and Girls Club end. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot of new stuff happening, especially the next school year. So this definitely, I'm definitely not going to not be busy.
I'm so glad that I won't be in college anymore.
Yeah.
So I can help you. Yes. Okay, back to events. Okay, so over at Pineview Park, they've got Kickin' in the Park, which is a family taekwondo class. And so that starts at 5. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's free. I'm sure you just show up and kick around. Over at the Montana Natural History Center, starting at 5:30, is their 25th anniversary celebration. So, celebrating 25 fabulous years by having some really good food trucks. And then they also have live music and drinks and food. And there's ice cream and beer for free for the first 100 people. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. Aaron Buzzes is going to be playing at the Great Burn Brewing Company at 6. And then over at Imagination Brewing Company, they've got an adults beginning fiddle class. That also starts at 6. And so it's, let's see. Yeah. Dude, you can figure it out. We'll go there. Starts at 6. I don't know. Over at the Zootown Arts Community Center, they've got Paint and Pour that also starts at 6. You can go in there and follow along with the class and paint a beautiful photo and then drink a bunch of wine. Sounds great. Over the Missoula Public Library is jewelry making workshop in their makerspace. It starts at 6. That lasts until 7:30. At the Sunrise Saloon, there's country dance lessons with instructor Kathy Clark. That starts at 7. It's $5 per lesson. And then over at the Roxy Theater, they've got a movie. It starts at 8 o'clock, and it's called The Decline of Western Civilization, Part 3. So this is the 3rd installment in Penelope Sphere's trilogy that follows the gutter punk lifestyle of homeless teenagers. And this was made in the 90s, so you can be sure that's probably pretty sweet. But that's what I've got going on for you guys for events for your Wednesday. We're switching gears now. We're going to musical notes with Asaph Adonai.
Holy heartbreak, Batman, Miss Kitka. That's one of Robin the Boy Wonder's many catchphrase exclamations, along with holy heart failure and holy Captain Nemo. And you can see Robin on the right there. In the 1966 Batman, the movie, Robin and Batman discover that Bruce Wayne's true love, Miss Kitka, is really Catwoman when her mask falls off during a fight scene. So I'm talking about heartbreak. So anyway, before there was Michael Keaton who donned the cowl, before there was Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Kristen Bell, and even Ben Affleck. That's our guest for today. William West Anderson, there he is, known to the world as Adam West, the definitive Batman of all time, according to people who were there. Anyway, the premise of Batman, millionaire Bruce Wayne, when he was a kid, he watches his parents get gunned down in a mugging in Gotham City. So he decides to dedicate his life to fighting crime, and that's how he becomes Batman, for those trivia buffs there. Anyway, Adam West was born in 1928. He's an American film, television character, and voice and stage actor with a career spanning 6 decades in television. He began his acting career in 1959, and he played in a movie called Geronimo with Chuck Connors from The Rifleman in 1962. He appeared with the Three Stooges in 1965 in The Outlaws Is Coming. Humble beginnings, Mm-hmm. Especially when you're with the Three Stooges. Wow. Anyway, he hit his stride in the 1960s when he became Batman in the ABC series, and he also did the theatrical film movie. But like most things, you get typecast, and in his case, he really got typecast to the point that the only way he could make a living was to put on the Batman costume and appear on, variety shows of the 60s and stuff like that.
Even be a parody of himself on a lot of shows.
Yeah, that was it, because in his case, he really got typecast. Now, his father was a farmer, and his mom was an opera singer and concert pianist. And so what he did, he was in the Army, and he was doing voices for the Armed Forces television in the Army. And when he got discharged, he goes to Hawaii, and he ends up, his first job was on a children's television show. And then from there, when he hit a strike with Batman, he also, the reason he got discovered playing Batman, he did a Nestle's Quick commercial, that powdered chocolate mix that they used to have in the past. And he was a James Bond spy called Captain Q for Nestle's Quick. And he got picked up by William Dozier to become Batman in the series. Now, since then, besides doing appearances, he's done television shows like The Big Valley, Mannix with Mike Connors, Policewoman with Angie Dickinson, and he's been on King of Queens and the George Lopez Show, but still couldn't shake that Batman image. And he also does the voices. He plays the Mayor West on Family Guy. There he is right there. And you see how it's misspelled, Adam Wee.
I love that episode.
Yeah, so...
And he's like yelling, "I'm not Adam Wee!"
Yeah, that's it. So, throughout his whole career since the 60s, he's always been associated with Batman and doing other voices like Futurama and just all those other goofy shows. And finally... in 2010, he got the Golden Palm Star Palm Springs Walk of Fame that was dedicated to him.
Nice.
And he also received the 2,468th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2012. So it'd be impossible to talk about everything this man's ever done. And finally, in 2013, he was interviewed on PBS series called The Pioneers of Television, entitled Superheroes. So your audience can look him up.
Very nice.
And of course, here's the original movie. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. This is the movie that... This is Batman the movie right here.
Nice.
So your audience can look that up too. It had all the four characters, the Joker, the Penguin, Catwoman, and the Riddler all in the same film.
Whoa. Those guys better watch out.
That's like nowadays it's like the shared universe. It's like they all come together for a massive...
Yeah, they did in this movie
much.
too. And this was just such a fun, silly movie that you can watch.
Nice. Thank you very much, Asaph.
Sure.
That was Musical Notes with Asaph Adonai, everyone. And so now we've got an art clip, and then after this, we will be back with more events. Hi, you guys. We are back, and we've got some events for going on for tomorrow. So, starting at 10 a.m. over at the Providence Center, they've got their NAMI Missoula weekly meeting. This is a free weekly meeting for anyone affected by mental illness or interested in learning about NAMI. At 11 is face painting over at the Children's Museum of Missoula. Also at 11, over at Spectrum Discovery area, their Discovery Bench is pressure. Their Brain Lab is neurotransmitter necklaces. And then over at the public library, they've got a leather craft key fob in their makerspace. So that starts at noon. And so it's you pretty much just like make some leather stuff. It's pretty sweet. So space is limited to 8 people. It's open to adults and teens. Call 721-2665 to register.
Sweet.
Over at NAMI Missoula, there's the NAMI Connection Support Group that starts at 1:30. It's a free weekly support group for adults living with mental illness. And then something going on at 2 o'clock, actually, is family movies at Missoula, Maine. That'll be at the public library. And they're going to be watching, it's a family movie, so you can call the children's department at 721-2665 to find out the title of the movie. But that starts at 2. Over at the public library, they also have computer electronics in their makerspace that starts at 3. That goes until 6. You can work on a project of your choice or learn how to use their equipment. Across the street at the Missoula Butterfly House is an antennae art project from 3 to 5. They're going to be learning the differences between how moths and butterflies sense the world around them. Pretty cool. At the public library at 3:30, they've got Lego Club. This is for children, obviously, but ages 12 and under have to be accompanied by an adult. They do have Lego and Duplo pieces provided. So we've got a couple wine events. Over the Doubletree, starting tomorrow at 5, is a Montana Grape and Winery Association annual conference. And so the conference dates are 16th, 17th, and 18th, so it's all weekend long. And they're going to be having 11 seminars, wine tasting, banquet dinner, tours of local vineyards and wineries. So this is going to be up for 3 days, and it kicks off tomorrow at 5. That sounds awesome. Over at La Grata Bella, they've got their downtown drop-in wine tasting that starts at 5 p.m. Cost is $12.50. It's payable at the Old Post Pub, and it's underneath the Old Post. Over at Caris Park is downtown tonight. Marshall Catch will be playing. They will be having children's activities as well as lots of food vendors. Starts at 5:30, and the event is sponsored by XC and Zilla State, which I have no idea what either of those are. Sounds great. At the Zootown Arts Community Center is Ladies Pottery Night at 6 p.m. And so this is for the ladies, in which all women artists enjoy 20% off of pottery. And so no reservations are necessary. It's walk-ins only. Yeah. And so this next one is pretty cool. It's called When the War Didn't Happen, Prophecy in Missoula. This is going to be at the Mansfield Library on the University of Montana campus. It starts at 6, and it's a lecture by Robert Balk. And so in the spring of 1980, a Missoula chiropractor, Dr. Leland Jensen, made international news when he predicted that the apocalypse in the form of global nuclear war would commence on April 29th at precisely 5:55 p.m. So the presentation is going to describe how Jensen and his followers prepared for this catastrophe and how they responded when the prophecy failed, as well as other comparisons to other cases of where prophecies have also failed. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
Well, usually any doomsday prophecy always never happens, and it always results in them saying it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Eventually.
But that's just like a very interesting concept, I think, because people, like, where did he get this idea that it was going to happen, and why did he think this?
I would be more interested in learning about why people come up with these theories in the first place, more than the actual theories themselves, because you see all these Nostradamus type theories on like the History Channel, because the History Channel is technically owned by Scientologists, so it's like aliens and history together.
It's true, yeah. It's very interesting. So that's at the Mansfield Library at 6 p.m. And so if you guys get a chance, I'm sure that would be very, very interesting to check out. Yeah.
I thought the year 2000 was a big year.
Yeah.
And then they said 2012 was another big year.
Mm-hmm. And now when is it?
Looks now it's 2016.
Yeah, with the change of our president.
We'll see.
But I've got a couple more events for you guys going on this evening. So over at Max Wellness Massage, there's an outdoors adventures with essential oils. So I can only imagine that they would give you some good essential oils to use if you're a pretty active person outdoors. And so you can learn more about that. Also, we've got at the Roxy at 8 is they've got a totally 80s summer movie film going on, movie-like events throughout the summer, and they're showing Beverly Hills Cop at 8 o'clock at the Roxy.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Dusk will be playing at the Sunrise Saloon at 8. It's country. Open mic at the Eagles Lodge at 8:30. Open mic at the Broadway at 9. Dead Hipsters at the Badlander at 9. Karaoke at the Dark Horse at 9. There's Dead Horse Trauma and Chrysalis at Stage 112 at 9. Mudslide Charlie will be at the Top Hat Lounge at 9:30. So that's what's going on in your community. As always, you can check out MissoulaEvents.net, University of Montana website, The Independent, or The Missoulian for more events. But now we are
holding this remote so I can change the camera to be on my face.
Yeah, Scott's face.
Because
you guys, it's Wednesday.
Which means it's... You can say the first word.
Hallmark.
Or Bullmark.
Woo!
Are you guys ready? So, if you guys don't know how the game works, I read a synopsis from a Hallmark original movie, or do I? And you guys have to determine whether it's a Hallmark original movie or it's complete Bullmark. Hence the name, Hallmark or Bullmark. Let's play! Okay. I'll get through this quickly. If you guys don't like this segment, I'll get through this fast.
Remember the Elvis song? Never mind.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spring that on you, Asaph. All right, hit it, Asaph. Upstart wedding planner Libby Boland makes dreams come true by designing romantic fairy tale weddings for her clients. Problem is, there's no romance in her own life. Big surprise there. All that changes when she falls for Ben Reynolds, author of the new book, Wedding Day Do's and Don'ts. Unfortunately, their blossoming romance is threatened when she discovers that Ben's book is for cheap weddings, which goes against everything she believes in, because if you go for a cheaper wedding, you're not going to have a wedding planner. So basically, no. That's not going to work. It's her livelihood. Sparks fly at a wedding expo where Libby and Ben battle over clients, but when Libby's livelihood is threatened, Ben finds a creative and romantic way to come to her rescue. Because apparently women need to be rescued. Whatever. Anyways, this movie's called Mismatched. It's Mismatched. It's not Mrs. It's not Miss. It's Ms.
Man, this is hard one.
Is this a Hallmark original movie or is this Bullmark?
I think. Oh man, this is like a classic Hallmark tale. Classic Hallmark tale.
So are all my Bullmark.
I know. That's why I'm like,
I'm like an expert at this now.
I know. That's why this is so hard. I'm like stressing out about this.
Want to go Asaph?
Okay. I'm gonna say Bullmark. You know why? Because of the Ms on there.
Ms.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go Hallmark. I know that I may be going against what I think.
Well, you know, Asaph, you doubt me too much because it's a real movie.
Yes, that's what I thought. I knew it.
I should just like choose Hallmark movies from now on, and then he's like, Asaph's gonna be like, it's Bullmark.
Yeah.
No, like you always doubt me, and that makes me so sad.
Oh, whatever. He doesn't care.
And tears. I don't use my hand. Anyways, here's the next movie of Hallmark or Bullmark. Let's play. I have no control of my eyebrows. That's not part of the movie. 3, 2, 1. No. 3, 2. No. 3. 3, 2. When it comes to finding the perfect getaway, globetrotter and author Samantha Penwood always finds the perfect place for honeymoons. Over the years of finding the perfect couple's retreat, Samantha cannot seem to find someone to share, I guess, this with? Must have been deleted. It isn't until she meets freelance reporter Jake Spencer, who's constantly homesick when sparks begin to fly. Samantha will discover it's not where you go, it's who you end up with that matters. And this movie's called Couples Vacation. Is this a Hallmark original movie? Or is this Bullmark?
I'm gonna say Bullmark.
Same here.
You say Bullmark.
Yeah. Okay. Because of the way you were explaining the story.
I usually rewrite all the synopsis myself, even if it is Hallmark.
We're Asaph, but we just want you to know we look for clues. We hear.
I pay attention.
We listen to clues. Okay.
Well, you guys, you got me this time because it is a completely Bullmark movie.
Yes, 2 for 2. I am 2 for 2. Thank you, everyone. I'll be here all week for the rest of my life.
I mean, I thought it was a good idea because I was thinking, back in my experiences, is that if you're an AP news reporter, you get to basically travel around the world and just everywhere and do that thing.
Jake Spencer.
And then, of course,
That's
she's a Globetrotter. And Globetruckers are an actual job where you can go around and, like, maybe for, like, the Travel Channel or, like, their online blog.
Scott, you got great movie ideas. You really do. Like, I think you should submit movie ideas to them.
And I have these short stories, which I'll probably turn into a children's book, a children's series of short stories with all the, Pete the permanent marker and Nancy the cake. This next Monday's Tales from the Weekend.
You're so creative!
Be amazing.
I just love how creative you are.
I just do basic story structure, and then I just find an object that people can follow with, and then I try to have a description all over. Well, I don't know. The way I tell these stories that are creative is I basically steal from what I remember from how basic stories are. You have to have a character. You have to have a problem, and then you got to solve said problem. Boom, movie. That's basically what it is.
Nice.
So last week we had the week off, and
we did. It was nice.
I have a funny story from Joel, and Joel, our boss, general manager. We were getting ready for interview with. I think he's the sheriff's department, and this is like an anti-trafficking type interview. So he interviewed a couple people here and there about some of the stuff that's going on in and around Montana and whatnot like that. And he was, we were kind of getting set up. He was kind of like he's stressing out and whatnot like that. And then he told me it's like, aren't you stressed out? I was like, no, not really. And then Joel was like, well, that's what stresses me out. It's like, you're not worried.
That stresses you out. It stresses him out that you're not stressed out.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. No, why would you be stressed out?
Why would you be stressed out? I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool. That's really funny. Oh, Joel, you're so funny.
But of course, if you haven't even heard, I read the newspaper today. Of course, Hastings is bankrupt.
Hastings is going bankrupt.
I saw that too.
And if you guys have any Hastings gift card or anything like that, you have to spend it before July 13th. Otherwise, they're never going to honor any of the Hastings cards or anything like that. I got to go
get my book out of that store too. My book's on sale there.
Yeah,
well, the idea is the store is going to try to keep in business because there's a new company. It's called a Movie Stop.
Oh,
and they're exactly like Hastings pretty much.
Yeah.
And they're considering buying up all of Hastings property. It's basically just like a rebranding thing. Like the location that it's on right now, the next door neighbor Staples closed down.
Yep, because they weren't making enough money. And Kinko's is downtown, and Kinko's FedEx, is.
Well, the idea of a lot of these corporate places, you can't just sell one thing anymore. You have to have these superstores which sell everything.
Yeah.
If you go to Walmart, you have to walk a mile or so to get to the paper clips.
Yeah.
And then you have to walk a mile to get your groceries.
It's true.
I swear, it's like if you run around all of Walmart, it's like half a mile.
It's true. It's great exercise.
No.
Walking around Walmart, dodging people, dodging wheelchairs.
Mostly dodging those little scooters that people ride in that probably should not be riding them. Save them for the disabled.
It's true. Very true, Scott. Yes.
I see people all the time who do not need to ride those things.
No.
But anyways, that's just me speculating. I'm just going off on a tangent. We don't have much time for today's show. Orientation is tonight at 5:30. You want to be a part of MCAT, be part of the MCAT community, make your own show, do all that stuff. But of course, this is another announcement for producers, is that next week, we're not open for the public between 1 and 5 all next week. And if you want to check out equipment, do any kind of that stuff, you'd have to come between 5 and 8, Tuesday through Thursday. And Friday, we're just closed completely to the public because our summer hours end at 5, and since our summer camps. But of course, next week is just the 1 week, and then of course we have the 2 weeks between that, and then of course most of July, MCAT's going to be closed to the public until those hours. But you can see the signs on MCAT. We'll I'll change the website just to kind of give a basic announcement saying that MCAT will be closed. So that's basic MCAT news about what's going on here at MCAT. Our summer programs are starting. It's great. We have a lot of great resources. Kate Davis from Up Missoula Rocky. We're going to be going to hopefully out to lunch on a couple of those Wednesdays that we have a chance to with some of the kids. So watch out for us.
We'll be out there with kids. It'll be great. But also, you guys, we still have more room for our summer camps. If you want to sign up, you guys can give us a call.
Yep. I'm only going to advertise a wildlife one. I'm not going to talk about the animation one.
Right.
Don't worry about the animation. We really want someone to do it next week, and after next week, we'll really advertise our second animation camp. But we will not advertise any animation because next week is our wildlife one. But luckily, there's about 8 kids now. So 2 kids signed up yesterday.
Awesome.
Pretty much that day, and just like, I'm going to sign up my kid. I was like, cool.
It'll be a lot of fun. We're very excited, and as Scott mentioned, we're going out to Kate Davis's Raptors of the Rockies out in Stevensville. So we're going to film some birds and hang out and learn all about animals. That's going to be awesome. So make sure you guys also look for our live cut-in. That is going to be on Channel 189 Tuesdays and Thursdays. But our morning show, we'll be going on our morning show still next week, so we'll remind you guys.
Yeah, the only time we're going to be taking off is the last week in July. We'll take that off because we have our zombie camp, and that's gonna be a long week too.
Yep.
So for Wake Up Missoula, oh wait, do you want to do some social networking?
Yeah, let's do some social networking.
Let's throw some social networking. We're gonna have our full show edited, completely beautiful looking, like nothing ever went wrong at wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. So nice, we made you write it out twice. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at Wake Up Missoula.
Missoula Communities Access Television also has a Twitter at MCAT-TV Missoula. You can like us on Facebook, and to find out more information, check us out at MCAT.org.
Cool. Yep, just like that.
Yeah. And so, you guys, thank you for joining us for Wake Up Missoula. My name is Noelle McFoy.
And one more thank you to our guests, Marc Moss and Matt Loerke. Yeah, stay with us. We'll be back Friday morning to tell you all about what's happening